How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Scythe. Saboteur. Sentinel. Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me! But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half? My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Cut that one in half. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. The deep cut. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, globs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That's the good stuff. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had... It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is... Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He... Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young... He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them. The potato people, or Nono, are a magic. He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says... You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start... You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The... You handle that net like you've never done any... He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over... One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough. But today, your focus is getting... Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her... He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part... He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now the tree started to die when the end... The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the Toxanol Corporation in... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the world eater. The road ahead won't be... He wants you to understand that you'll all die. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the trial. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the tree of life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the world eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the world eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The world eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the war. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues. He doesn't know what you're... Anyway, he's...
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Now take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the world. The myriad tribe. Regardless of who you choose. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction, to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out-of-Date says someone needs to break the stalemate. He can sense you share Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Oh, man. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says he can see you're a free spirit, so he'll let you in.
Zata iżdi mój to tloho. Kariezne zdace. Paro, ja put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in the wall that separates them from the other side the waste.
Na zenakas pripadne totloho.
He understands
Onis pulnos odlisini totloho.
there's something.
Ite reki yaput vusesi
Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought.
orzekali. Novi, zivo.
Your Muma invented Wung Fu.
Orzekali. Perfetta. Yeti rekli.
The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside. At least
Perfetta. Inatovo. Orzekali.
Jackney doesn't want a new unity between the tribes, says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes.
Naoko onis poloknost. Inatovo.
He wasn't sure you'd do that. But
Naoko onis poloknost.
the Sifu was waiting.
Zum ilem dat nete. Donzadne.
The Jackney's destiny is to do what others are too afraid to do.
Ives yeti rekli dekli. Donzadne.
Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them.
Kariesne statse. Ide moi.
They have no intention of letting this drag out. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
O visoko dolatsi ne ale. Ni bira.
Even if you
Pada fu uflete. Tada. O visoko dolatsi ne
tells you not to be afraid.
skuni.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their...
Tada odliseni nyovai.
The only kin who count are the kin that are left standing at the end of the war. Let's focus on making that our kin, not theirs.
Nezdatsne okoni.
Seeing you,
Mali muzami tel novazi ale dlohodo.
Jackney doesn't want a new unity between the tribes.
Nezdatsne okoni. Zanamach.
He remembers your kind and
Zanamach. Ite reki tel novazi ale inatovo.
It's always the little things you... Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Half-lifed. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been... He understands Wung Fu is hard. That's why you're... He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Wait, but you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to... You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try to... Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. You know you can't make up. You should know. Practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. His only interest when creating is that he was hoping you could help him pick up. He thinks you should look for things that are... He wonders what usefulness you found. Sometimes he's an expert. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You come. He'd love to teach you. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it. He thinks master. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Kalino?
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village.
Kanamunt.
Then you've got a good excuse.
Ruhemuhtuno. Kalino?
She wants you to grow up and start thinking.
Masamal. Ferenamas sana yote. Ruhemuhtuno.
You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her.
Ala. Masamal. Kanamunta.
They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think. He's not scared of anything, least of all. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? If confidence is the most important, it's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. Training with Muma will make you feel. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training.
Yamafore dome da hunka. Yamafore dome da hunka.
He's curious to see what you've found. He says he thinks he said. The style might be too edgy. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He's looking forward to.
Rumblele marsamon.
Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Andro?
Hopes you're as ready as you claim.
Moni basa. Pola kudo.
She says she is,
Tukonda. Inadab sunka.
but there's enough time left for repetition, and you...
Andro?
That's a good attitude, as... Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of...
Anaro lote.
Thank...
Taifaname numa. Ben nampu. Anaro lote.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved...
Kanyala notoro.
Catchy.
Taifaname numa.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as...
Arieroche nuimum. Drobal. Aplitonum. Ferena masalapu.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow...
Yo no massaman berut. Katya top beri.
Your Muma says you look tired.
Pial tu ma.
She... Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Can't see. Come on.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Asadurutu.
Your Muma says this is it. The time...
Ben nampusa.
He wants to destroy her. The time...
Kututuku. Katya dopoluta. And Katya dopoluta.
She tells you to stay back. This...
Tatenko baba sakting. Pola kudo.
She loves how... Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. That helps work the kinks out. Got more than a flesh wound.
Gafafa ye hufae.
It was harder than expected.
Wa sula karaktonub.
They've received news a Ronin,
Tabab yelui.
a group of Jagni warriors, are already.
Oi la da hoa.
You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.
Gayu yelunuya. Tabab yelui. Oi la da hoa.
Better not keep the war pu- Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. Look, an emergency box from the... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. The Toxanol Corporation made this place. Well, small ones. Places like this would... There must... The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Let's see. What a bruiser! Graceful.